Welcome to the Sat Village podcast. I'm Tristan Chater, co-founder of Sat Village and your host for this 15-part series. Together, we're diving into the journey of creating a conscious eco-community in Portugal, nestled between the forest and the sea, and not far from Lisbon. If this is your first time joining, Sat Village is a small eco-village in the making. We're planning for 18 homes and a shared community center. It's a place for people who want to live in deeper connection with nature, themselves, and others. A space where we raise our kids in community, grow food from the land, practice yoga, and still be within reach of city life and the ocean breeze. We know that Sat Village won't be for everyone. It's not a generic vacation home project, it's a specific vision for a specific kind of lifestyle. And we're sharing all about it here in this podcast to connect with those who truly resonate and to inspire those who are looking to create something similar. You can explore more at satvillage.com, where you'll find all our blog posts, village designs, updates, and ways to connect, including the option to book a video call and get to know us personally. And yes, the homes will be available for pre-sale sometime around late 2025 or early 2026. So if you feel called, we'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get into today's episode. Last time, I shared the journey of finding the land, from our original plan to renovate a farmhouse, to unexpectedly discovering a property right next to a beautiful Kundalini Yoga ashram in Sintra. That discovery changed everything, and marked the beginning of Sat Village as a physical place. This week, we're exploring the next stage, which is all about designing a village. Because once we secured the land, we were faced with an even bigger question. How do you actually design a conscious village? What do you include? What do you leave out? What's essential? What's idealistic? What makes people feel safe? What fosters connection? Let's be honest. There's no handbook for this. There are some amazing communities out there, sure, but each one is unique, and none of them are quite like what we're trying to do here. So we started from the ground up. We started with feelings rather than forms. How do we want people to feel when they wake up in Sat Village? What kind of lifestyle do we want to support? How can we design the space to facilitate interaction but protect individual privacy at the same time? These are the kinds of questions that shaped everything. First off, we knew we wanted to balance privacy and community. That means every home has its own private garden, a place to retreat, to reflect, to just be. But the homes aren't isolated. They're close enough to walk over to a neighbor's place, to share a meal or lend a hand. It's a subtle but essential balance. Then we looked at the layout, the orientation of the houses, how they relate to the sun, the slope of the land, the view of the valley, and the direction of the wind. How we could use natural features like trees and pathways to give the village a kind of gentle flow. It needed to be walkable. It needed to feel safe for kids. It needed to feel organic. The challenge here was to work with the shape of the land while maintaining the building regulations and still keeping to our design choices. It was a bit of a puzzle to get it right. And if you ever try a project like this, don't be afraid to change your design for the better, even if it means discarding a few days of work and starting fresh. Let's get back to the village setup. So, the community center is another key piece. We imagined it as a living room for the whole village, a place where people can gather, where workshops can be hosted, where you can sit with your laptop or a good book in the mornings and share dinner in the evenings. We knew this space would shape the culture of the village, so we gave it a central location at the highest point of the land, and made sure it opened up to the common grounds, with a view of the valley and beautiful forest. This building also has its own aesthetic character, setting it apart from the village and accentuating its function as the heart of the village. Around it, we imagined a garden and a shared parking area. The benefit of parking at the entrance is that it creates a car-free zone in between the homes. This should help to uphold the quiet lifestyle that we envision for ourselves and our neighbors. We worked closely with an architect. After a while, we realized that our architect was not really the right person for the job. And here is a lesson we learned that I can share. Just because somebody studied architecture, it doesn't automatically mean that they are right for your project. So don't choose the first person that crosses your path. We have learned to look at the reference projects and actual accomplishments instead of credentials. Well, we took some time to find someone new, and I tell you, after we found the right architect, we took off in the right direction faster than we imagined. Another benefit of working with the right people is that they usually have a network of good people around them who can help with other aspects of the project. Anyway, we found someone who understood the ethos of what we were building, not just the aesthetics, but the intention. It also helps that I was able to do a lot of the design work myself. We didn't want oversized villas. We wanted beautiful, simple, well-designed homes, with the right balance between practicality and aesthetic quality. They needed to be efficient, comfortable, full of light, built with quality materials, but not extravagant, because the luxury here is the land, the people, and the rhythm of life. Our goal was to integrate the village into the landscape and keep the buildings at a human scale, meaning that when you walk through Sat Village, you should have a feeling of spaciousness all around you. So in our case, by maintaining a maximum height of the houses, you always have an open sky all around you. Now, I want to talk a little about values, because design is never just physical, it's also philosophical, and every design choice has a thought behind it. We believe in freedom with responsibility, in giving people space to live how they want, but within a shared framework of respect, cooperation, and care. We believe in authenticity over perfection. We're not trying to create some utopian image. We're creating a living, breathing, human village. There will be challenges, there will be learning. That's part of it. We believe in integration with nature, not taming it, not dominating it, but living alongside it, working with the seasons, planting according to the land, building with local materials when we can, and leaving space for wildness. Now, some of the more technical aspects of the design, like floor plans, 3D artist impressions, sustainability features, and so forth, are better explored through the blog, where you can see the visuals and read the details. It's all on satvillage.com. But I would like to dive a bit deeper into some of our basic design choices to make it tangible for you. First of all, we are very serious about taking the natural environment into account in all our design decisions. One thing I can say is that we have tried to design the village to fit the slope of the land as much as possible. There will be some groundwork needed, and this is sort of unavoidable. But our goal is to keep the ecosystem and water passages beneath the ground as much intact as possible. Another point is that the ground should be able to breathe, so that soil life can carry on and rainwater can infiltrate into the ground. This thought influences quite a few of our material choices. For instance, all pathways, terraces, and other forms of hardened ground cover should be permeable and made from natural materials. Also, we'll build the homes on top of foundation pylons so that each house floats above the ground just 30 centimeters or so. That way, the ground can breathe, but it is also beneficial for the buildings, because it means that we can use natural materials like wood and ecological insulation panels for the floor construction instead of a heavy concrete slab. I love how these choices all come together and add to the overall vibe of the project. So, by using natural materials for the pathways, and actually for almost everything that we build, we are also adding to the natural feel of the project. Now, if you get deeper into the Sat Village lifestyle and principles, you will find that one of our core principles is that we would like Sat Village to feel like a garden with buildings, instead of buildings with a garden. Obviously, this will be very much dependent on what you end up doing with your garden. On a side note, I've actually thought to maybe make the garden design a part of the selection process for our future neighbors. But, well, let's not get ahead of things for now. So, one of the ways that we accomplish this feeling of being immersed in nature is that all the roofs are covered with local grasses and flowers. In fact, your roof becomes an extension of your garden. And because of the slope of the land, the houses at the top of the land look out onto the roofs of the lower houses. This is a really cool feature because it blends the houses into the landscape and also enhances the privacy aspect. I do actually want to take it a step further by having plants and flowers growing up the outside walls, because I find that what the natural environment creates is just so much more beautiful and timeless than man-made objects. Unfortunately, I was not able to add the green wall coverings to the artist impressions on the website, but you will have to imagine it yourself. So, that gives you a bit of an idea of the exterior. But the interior is also important, and here too we have done our best to create this calm and grounded feeling of living in a personal retreat house. We have chosen natural wood paneling on the walls and ceiling, and large windows to connect the inside to the outside. There is obviously quite a bit of freedom for you to customize the finishings of your house, so if you want a bright red kitchen, then that's up to you. But we have done our best to choose materials that will facilitate a healthy, conscious lifestyle connected with nature in the broadest sense of the word. Something else that I can say while we are on the subject of natural materials is that wearing clothing made of natural fibers feels really great on your skin and benefits your health in various ways. And in that same way, it is so important that your house is built with good, wholesome materials to enhance your family's well-being every single day. Unfortunately, the construction industry is brutal in that construction companies are forced to use cheap and often toxic materials to compete on pricing. Therefore, it is uncommon that houses are built using healthy and organic materials. But for Sat Village, we don't cut corners on anything regarding your health and well-being. What I want to leave you with today is this: that designing a village isn't about creating a perfect space. It's about creating a meaningful one. A space where life connects and flourishes, where kids grow up surrounded by birds and trees, where neighbors share more than just a fence, where there's room to heal, to dream, and to contribute. We're still building it, literally and figuratively, and we're looking for the right people to build it with us. If what I shared today resonates with you, if you're looking for more than just a home in Portugal, if you're looking for a way of life, we'd love to connect. If you like, you can book a video call. Ask your questions, get to know us, share your story, because in the end, Sat Village will be shaped by the people who choose to live here. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Sat Village podcast. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might feel inspired. We're gathering a truly fantastic group of people, and it starts with connecting. And don't forget to sign up for the mailing list if you want to stay in the loop. I'm Tristan Chater, and this is the Sat Village podcast. See you next time.
Sat Village, where the roots run deep. We wake with the earth and her soul we keep. Harmony grows where the rivers meet. Sat Village, where the truth feels sweet. We sow and reap the stories of life and the seeds we keep. Laughter echoes through the open air, a circle of love, we're always there. Integrity flows like the morning stream. We live the dream, we live the dream. Sat Village, where the roots run. We wake with the earth and her soul we keep. Harmony grows where the rivers meet. Sat Village, where the truth feels sweet, feels sweet. Moonrise whispers, stars take their place. In every shadow we see her face. The earth our guide through time and space. Her song is ours, her gentle embrace. Moonrise whispers, stars take their place. In every shadow we see her face. The earth our guide through time and space. Her song is ours, her gentle embrace.